Hi, my name is Melissa, and I am here to go over my ethnographic narrative project. My first experience was experience number one, and I did an interview with my informant from India. Part of their economic problem is a lot of their population is living below poverty levels and struggling for better and easy access to healthcare services. With limited government resources, much of their healthcare is provided from nonprofits. From the model of Geiger and David Heiser, the social organization, family role, the informant told me that the female role is to serve the men of the house, cooking, serving, cleaning up after them from dinner and their household chores. My husband would love this, but it's not going to happen for him. Um, and another part of the model she shared with me was their time. She said the social time, going out with her friends, but she said for going out with her friends, they don't go out after dark, especially after midnight, unless they are in very large groups due to the high incidence of rape in India. So that is part of their Geiger and David Heiser model. A brief description of the interview. One of the biggest part of this interview, she was just mostly concerned of the wording of her sentences, just making sure that she could get through to me what she was trying to word. Not so much that just that I was having a problem just understanding her wordage. She said just coming over to America that she just doesn't know how we word our English, making sure that she gets her point across. Analysis of the interview, having a guideline of my questions, using open-ended questions to encourage my informant to give me as much information about his culture as she would, gave me as much information that she would provide. If I would have had yes or no questions, she wouldn't have gave me a whole lot. I allowed my informant to pick the interview time and place, which because she has two jobs. The interview took place at the end of one of her jobs, and even though it was slightly busy towards the end of the interview, we still were able to get a lot of our interview questions answered. The strength of the interview overall was just learning about the informant and her background. The time and the place could have been improved, only because picking the time that she could have sat down and actually talked to me without having to work. In comparison to the research article and my informant, the article that I had picked did a lot of, dealt with more of the malnutrition of India, the diseases in India, the poor sanitation, and the safe drinking problems. That's why I did my teaching tool on boiling water so that they could have safer drinking. But when I talked to my informant, she stated the bigger problem is the rape going on in India and having those higher incidences for females. My experience number two, I went to the Eagles Landing Room at Ashland University and enjoyed the Nigerian culture that was shared. My goal was just to broaden my background and to benefit my future patients and the practices from my nurse in my practice as a nurse to help benefit my patients, and even to help kind of broaden my experiences with my doctors, the doctors that are working here at the hospital that are from Nigeria, to kind of broaden my horizons from them. The interactions with the Nigerians that were there, my gosh, they were very happy, smiling, energetic, handshaking, hugging when people came in. They made you feel very inviting. They went over a lot of kind of their culture in there. Getting married was like a huge party for them, making sure that it was a way for the parents and the families to get to know each other, come together as a whole. Um, Having children, they stated, is once again another big party for them that extends, kind of it grows the mother's bank account when people are just kind of come and shower them with money and um, tell them, take this and use it for the baby once the baby's here. They also had these odd rules and commandments that they followed. One that I remember that stood out was this: child could be sitting upstairs and the father would need the remote or want the remote. And it would literally be sitting right beside him, just at an arm's length away. And he would yell upstairs for the child to come downstairs and say, hand me the remote. And the child would have to go get just reach out and hand it to him. And it was disrespectful if you did not do this for your parent. The overall, like, awe of the crowd that was just in disbelief that you would be disrespecting your family if you did not come down out of your room just to get something that was in arm's reach of your family. In American culture, that's just like laziness, but over there, it's complete disrespect if you don't do it. But it was crazy that it was breaking rules if you didn't do it. Reflections, when I went there, I figured that this was going to be like a small group kind of sitting around, cookies, coffee, learning about the culture of Nigerian people. And when I got there, and it was just this huge PowerPoint, people just kind of filing in and learning and just having a great time learning about this culture of Nigerian people, and they made it so much fun. And towards the end, they brought in food and little spicy, but it was amazing. They kept you very intrigued and just kept your attention the whole time during the PowerPoints. I mean, there wasn't a time that I was like, wow, this is getting kind of boring, but it was constant attention of wondering what they were doing. From the model of Geiger and David Heiser, the social organization of the family role, you had to keep the respect of making sure that you didn't deny the family the right to celebrate those marriage and the birth of the babies, and making sure that you kept those rules and the commandments for the family. And then another part was the space, just the degree of comfort that they felt among the strangers, of being very open and friendly, shaking hands and hugging those that came in. It was just very comforting of how inviting they were. And my references for the PowerPoint, and I hope you enjoyed my ethnographic narrative. Hope you have a great day.